This is the Bottom Line Sports Show with Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
Imagine you trade a Chet Holmgren for a Giannis Antetokounmpo.
These guys are athletic as you know what, and you go like, oh my gosh, where's the fundamentals? Where's the pass first mentality? That's not in the league anymore.
And now here's your host, Gerald Brown and Rick Mahorn.
What it do? How does it feel? How does it be? Gerald Brown here, waiting for the big fella, Mr. Rick Mahorn, be on momentarily. And I got to say, first and foremost, again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You know, subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Beeline Sports Show. You know, make sure you're there. And just make sure you check it out, you know. You're not, you know. So we're waiting on Rick Mahorn, as Rick Mahorn is saying he's there, but he's not there. But nevertheless, I got to talk about the All-Star game. Round of applause for the All-Star game. It has been something that I got to say this, that, yeah. It has been something that a lot of people complain. It was, you know, very interesting to see and very exciting. I think clearly that, you know, kudos to them. Kudos to them. However, if I had my say in this matter, I think that we don't need to have 3 games. Don't need to have 3 games at all to make sure that you don't need that at all. And you don't need to have 3 games and making sure that you 3 games, it's like practice. You know, get to the main game. That's what we have been accustomed to. And clearly, if they do that, I think it would be a lot better. But give them credit because guys came out and played. It was, you know, very entertaining. I would say that. It's very, very entertaining. I thought it was great to be able to see the guys out there playing hard. And it made it worth watching. It made it worth watching as I was excited. And now I think clearly the only thing they need to do is to be able to follow it up and perhaps be able to make sure that just have 1 game, USA versus the world, you know, and really market that as opposed to, you know, trying to do all the other things and stuff. I don't think that's necessary at all. But it was good, and you know, the young guys setting the tone and being able to do that, I think it means a lot and stuff. Rick Mahorn is in the house. Rick Mahorn in the house. Rick Mahorn.
Hey, how come you always wearing that Memphis stuff, man? You ain't doing nothing.
Because you didn't send me no picture stuff, and I told you I need some tickets.
No, you don't. No.
I need like 7 tickets.
You better go ask some other friends because I don't like you like that. What up, G?
Shut up, Rick.
What up, boy? What's going
on, Rick? Just talking about the NBA All-Star game and stuff, and get your thoughts right off the bat. NBA All-Star game, is it now back to being must-see TV?
Well, I mean, the dunk thing was, you know, you can you shelve that? But you know, it's part of just some entertainment. But I thought it was more competitive. I thought it was, you know, it was more meaningful, especially for the young guys that won, like, you know, Cade Cunningham and Anthony. I mean, these, you know, Anthony Edwards. I look at these young guys, and they took it personally, especially if you're playing against some veterans, people that you admired from a distance, and you finally get a chance to play against them. Why not go at them while you can, baby? Because one thing about it, they're gonna remember that day.
Yeah. You know, when you play an All-Star game, and it's really it's interesting that we have to celebrate guys playing hard. And I know, look, I never played in the NBA, never said I did, but I do understand the fact is that, you know what, to get up for a game that essentially doesn't mean anything, that's kind of challenging. But Rick, why was it so effortlessly for players of yesteryear where we admired? I think clearly the lack of a point guard is gone, and that hurt. But why was it so easy for guys back then to get out there and showcase and perform?
Well, a lot of times when you look at it, the money was different, Gerald. Come on, man. We talking that one guy can make more than the whole salary of a whole team back in the day. And you go, okay, is it something that they want to do? Is it something that they could be on vacation, or, you guys like to take a break and try to relax a little bit. A lot of guys say, "Oh, I hope I don't make the All-Star team." But then again, it's a privilege to be on an All-Star team. And just like any other game in pickup, if you're playing in a park league or you're playing in the league and they say, "Oh, we're going to have an all-star game where all you guys can get on there," that's fun. It's entertainment. Basketball is entertainment. Sports are entertainment. But the fact is, when I look at it and compare it, hey, should be an honor for you to get, a bonus or whatever. You have all these bonuses in your contract, making an all-star team, doing this, hitting the plateau of all the levels of basketball. And you know what? Hey, if you work hard for it, you get that. And that's, a lot of times guys make it consecutively. Is like, man, I'll never get a vacation. Hey, you're gonna have a lot of vacation time in the summer if you're good.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. But Rick, always when we get around this time of the year, we have a point where we do our mark my words, the redo. Where we
Oh
look
boy,
at
mark my words.
Mark my words, the redo. So whatever predictions you made for the first half of the season, you get an opportunity right now to start all over and make that predictions all over. Rick, I'll tell you this.
What?
The Pistons come out the gate. They got the Knicks in Madison Square Garden. First game out the gate and stuff like that. How important is that first game for the Pistons out the gate?
Okay, there's two factors in this. It's important that you want to continue. See, that's the thing about a break. If you're playing well, you don't want to break. But
move your finger out the way. Why are you looking at that old funny finger? Move your finger out the way.
I don't like. That's my left hand. I'm a righty, so I like the left hand to do more work than the right hand. But when when I look at the fact that when I look at the Pistons and I say, do you want to take a break? Or, a lot of times, guys do need to take a break, get their mental right. But when it comes back, this is the second half, baby. And not having two of your top players with Isaiah Thomas and Duran, who's on suspension for the next game, and Isaiah is on suspension for the next 5. Hey, this is just Isaiah Stewart. So it's the fact that we have a team that, man down, next man up. And Paul Reed has been playing, started the last game and was playing well. And you go like, okay, then you got Paul Reed, then you got Asar Thompson. I mean, we have they have, and I say we, but I say they have so many options. And JB Bickerstaff is good at what he does. And that's why I was glad that he got a chance to coach in the All-Star game, because that's a big honor, because his father was there, was the assistant coach at the All-Star game back, I think, in 78 or 77. I don't know, but he was there. And I just said, hey, this is just some family stuff that you're doing one better than your dad. And I like it. But I tell you, this game is important because we kind of mollywopped the Knicks, a couple of weeks ago. They came here and it was on TV, and that was just an ass whooping.
Yeah, and they done gave them an ass whooping 2 times. I'd say that. In the first two matchups, it's been in Detroit. And let's be honest, the Pistons have been able to have their way with the Knicks. This is the game back in the Garden. It's going to be a lot of energy in Madison Square Garden. And I always say, the thing is with teams that are coming in, especially visitors teams, and you can speak to this definitely a lot better than I can. I always say it's important to manage the emotions, because the game is going to be, the fans are going to be on their seats, standing up. They're going to be ready from the start. And if the
Mm-hmm.
out with that push and stuff like that, and a lot of the times they can be playing off of adrenaline. You got to be able to maintain your emotions and not let the game get away, because again, it's 4 quarters. It's a lot of basketball. But what would you say in terms of when you come out that gate, that first 5 or 6 minutes, how important is it for the Pistons when they enter Madison Square Garden?
If you're on the road, you always want to try to take, even if the crowd's booing you, you as a player, we'd listen to that. Said if they were in our gym, they'd be cheering. So I mean, we use the reverse psychology, but you have to keep your composure, because each team is going to have run. The Knicks they had an 8-game win streak after they had their little team powwow. And that was good. I mean, that's something that they needed to address within the team and in that structure. But as long as you keep having those things like that, the links of those chains are not as strong as you think they are. Because if you got to have a players only meeting, then I mean, come on, man. It's like we're here to play basketball, and we generally got to like each other. I like what coming, especially the playing the Knicks, because it's always a bad taste in the Pistons' mouth because they lost to them last year. Isaiah Stewart got hurt, and that's what kicked us out during the playoffs last year. And the Knicks went on to, get to play Cleveland and, or Indiana. I don't even know who they played. But after that, but the Pistons came with the focus of, okay, all right, now we're here. We got the best record. We have the best record in the NBA right now. This is something that you want to strive for. It's different animals when it comes to playing during the regular season and then playing in the playoffs, because you play that one team 7 times in the 7-game series.
So let me ask you a question. And obviously you did those battles against the Celtics. When you met them in the regular season, was there ever a point in time that you didn't really want to show your full hand? Or is it like, you're going to go out there to perhaps try to establish some type of a mental edge? Like if you guys won in the Boston Garden in the regular season, which was almost impossible, would you use that? How important was that in the regular season to hopefully carry over in the postseason? Or they don't neither has anything to do with each other?
They do semi, to the point that the team's going to run X, Y, and Z. Everybody knows your plays. Everybody knows what they're going to do. Either you're going to cut, you try to take away their strengths. Like, let's just say if it's Boston shoots threes. So you got to play them outside the 3 land, but also have backup behind you from playing team defense. But when I look at teams like, look at the Pistons. Okay, so you concentrate on K, but then you got to worry about Duran. Then you worry about Duran, then you got to worry about Stu or Tobias Harris, or you keep going down the line. You got Duncan Robinson. Who do you want to beat you? That's who you look at it in the playoffs. In the regular season, it's a different, like I said, it's a different type style of game, because you're playing the other 29 teams, and everybody's going after you being the hunted instead of you being the hunter. So you have to have that same mentality of being a hunter, but you don't want them to whoop you.
So even when you're facing, I mean, obviously you playing against everybody, whereas the playoffs, like you mentioned in that series, you're only facing that one team. You're going to play them at least maybe 7 games. Worst case scenario, you're going to play them at least 4 games. Do you get up for those games against the Celtics? Like, this is going to be a matchup where it's going to be hyped up. It's going to be loud in Madison Square Garden. The Pistons have owned them 2 times. Do you get up for that game and say, yo, we got to dominate them? Or is it a situation where you treat it as another game? Because, look, you got other games and other teams.
No, see, here's the thing. You look at stuff. Oh, come on, Gerald. You done played pickup. You done played on a high school team, or you just been playing, in a group, whatever league you've been playing in. But you remember, your memory's got to be long and short at the same time. It's like when we kept losing to Boston, it was like, how are we going to beat them? What do we need to do? And when we finally beat them, you try to take a breath, but you ended up playing the Lakers the next, we played the Lakers for the finals. We get there and it's like, hey, we're here. We got a chance, an opportunity. yeah, you need to have some maturity or some people that's been there, done that. And the fact is, we didn't. We learned, but we have to yearn more. You learn, but you yearn for more. You want
Mhm.
to play. The next year when we came back, we said
Wait a minute, wait
regular.
a minute, wait a minute. Get back!
Excuse me, get back.
Get
Here's the
back.
thing, Gerald. When we lost to Boston, or when we lost to the Lakers that first year we went to the finals, Bill Laimbeer said something big in the locker room. He said, "We got to have the best record. Got to have the best record." So when we went into training camp, this is how we looked at it. This is how we took it approach with all 12 of us. We said we got a preseason because we played like 9 games, 10 games. We said this is our regular season. So okay, we took the regular season as this is our playoffs.
Mm,
And then we took the playoffs, this is our championship. In
mm,
that order, in order for us to stay focused. And we ended up winning, beating the Lakers 4-0. We went, we ain't do like the great Moses Malone 4-5-4, and 4-5-4. We ain't do that, but we did it to the point I think we were 16-3. We lost a couple of games, 16-4. I don't know. I have to look at my ring and see what with the finals, but we won. And that's the approach that we took. So this year, the experience helps, but
mhm.
it's also a hunger that you just don't give a fuck about anybody that you want to. Sorry, I'm sorry. I mean, you
Hey, I mean,
can.
it's unfiltered. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's unfiltered.
no,
We
I mean,
said
hey.
we said fuck Boston, fuck LA. We want the chip. That was the whole mentality, and my mentality was fuck everybody. And here that we always it always we see little signs that says Detroit versus everybody,
Mm,
and we see the grit, we see the grind, and I'm gonna tell you these young cats, man, and I like what Anthony Edwards says. These old dudes, these old cats think they can be you start hearing that, then you get the fire started in them old dudes or the old cats, and they want to kick your ass.
yeah, wait, I always wanted to ask you this, and obviously we're gonna be talking to Cornbread. You might want to send them that link I just sent you. But the thing that really stands out to me, Rick, that you said something that resonated with me is you look at
Hmm.
it like those Buffalo Bills teams in NFL. That when you get there every year, it's like, okay, come on, and you get up, and then when you
Get
fall
back.
short, get back, fall short. How difficult is it? Because I mean, that loss you guys had to the Celtics, in which Bird steals the ball, and you had them, Rick.
Do you
Y'all,
want? Let me go over that play. You,
I
I'm,
watched
you
that game
know,
closely,
you you
closely.
watch the game closely, but who always inbounded the ball? If you remember, on any turnovers, or even taking the ball out of bounds on turnovers, who was the one that's always taking the ball out?
Was
I
it you?
was.
Yes.
And the fact was, I was looking to my right because our bench was over on the right hand side, and I was looking to see what Chuck wanted to call a timeout. But Isaiah ran, and then nothing, instinct, mental. Isaiah was running, rushing to get the ball in, and we could have just said timeout, and the ball would have not advanced at that time. We would have set up because my job was to get the ball to Isaiah and
Mhm.
and Joe, making sure that I make and Chuck trusted me with that pass. So nobody really knows about that till I just said it. So when you look at it, we said, oh man, we got to get the home court event. But at that time, that was only I think that was game 5
Yeah,
because we
yeah.
didn't have, that was game 5, but we had to win game 6 in order to force the game 7.
But you would have
And
won
then,
that game.
but
You
here,
closed
but
it
here's
out
the
at
thing.
home,
We could have closed them out at home. But here's the funny thing. Adrian Dantley and Vinnie Johnson bumped heads.
and they went out. Right.
And
That's right.
no, but here's the thing. Then he was like, "Okay, I just bumped my head. I'm okay." They were rushing him to get to the hospital because they knew we were about to come at him real hard. We was about to get that ass. And next thing they go into the hospital. Vinny is like, "Why am I going to the hospital? Because I'm okay."
Mm.
But that's what gee, that's just how the business of basketball is sometimes. I just sit back sometimes and be like, But I'm gonna send Brad this thing because I told him I don't like him anyway.
Yeah,
And
Brett, the thing about it is what you were saying. I think that's so interesting that, when you look at teams that go through that whole process and you get up for those games and get up for the season, and then all of a sudden you get to that point and you fall short. And especially, like, man, because if you think about it, the Pistons should have had at least what, 3? Y'all should have had at
three,
least.
4, it doesn't matter. But we got 1, got 2, got 3, and looking to get 4. And the fact, when you look at it, this team has embraced what Detroit is all about. It's always, people look, oh, you from Detroit, they get their nose stuck up in the air. Oh, you from Detroit, But you look at the football team, you look at the baseball team. Unfortunately, the Lions didn't do what they're doing, but you got the hockey team doing what they need to do. You got the baseball team acquiring some good pitchers and re-signing the Cy Young guy again. This is like, you know what? This is the right time to be in Detroit. Now you got the Pistons who are doing their thing. So you could be good, but you got to get that chip. That's the thing. It's all well and good now. But when the Lions had the best record, they lost.
Yeah, that's why I said it's so difficult, I think, when you get that close and then you fall short, and then it's like, okay, we got to come back next year. It was almost a learning process, because you guys just kept knocking at the door of the Celtics, knocking at the door, knocking at the door, knocking at the door of the Celtics, and you just couldn't get through. And then when you finally got through, it was like, oh, okay. And then you got the Lakers there, and it's like, okay, so much energy has been focused on them. It had to be a mental challenge to really get back.
Yeah,
you just disappeared, Rick. We can see your ugly face. Just a thought.
I disappeared. Why did I disappear, man?
There you go. But the thing about it is to be able to have a space where, you now you got to focus your energy on them, and stuff. And then when you get over it, it seems like it's easy. And I won't say easy disrespectfully, but you know how to prepare yourself and what it takes after winning a championship to say, okay, we can go back and get another one.
Yeah, I mean, when the Pistons won the second one, I wasn't here. I was with the Philadelphia 76ers, and I had Barkley, and we played Chicago, and I was so glad. I mean, it was like, man, I said, I already know what Chicago wants to do. Let's do this, Charles. Let's do this. Nah, I said, you got to hit Michael. You got to, bump and shine him. Oh, that's my friend. I said, you know what? The Pistons are my friends. Some of the guys on the team are my boys. But when it came down to it, we whooped that ass in Detroit with the Sixers, and I didn't give a damn because you know what? 48 minutes, you ain't got no damn friends. If you got a friend, it's like, okay, you got a friend. We got somebody there?
We just see a brick wall.
I see a head. That's all you want to see. That might be somebody I want to fight. Yeah. That's what I want. Bring it, Brad.
Do what you need to do, big fella.
Yeah, I know you must be driving. Nah, I ain't messing with you, Brad.
I am driving. I was on. Now I would have been. Ricky Mahorn would have been. He would have been pissed off right now. How long was I on hold? I got my cousin here. 22 minutes. You know damn well you been
look, Brad. I'm talking to one of the hosts who sent me some old BS, and I'm sitting here going like, he asking me where I'm at. I said I'm in the studio. It just keeps you there, and I'm sitting there going like, so I just said, you know what, the heck with him, man. I might have to fight him next time.
You know what? It's technology, but he's driving, and all we do is see a brick wall. But he is the legendary 2-time NBA champion. NBA Finals MVP, Celtic Cedric Cornbread Maxwell, joining us, and I'm trying to figure out. We see a brick wall, and
he's driving, and he's safe. That's all that matters.
He's safe, and
I tell you what, I'm not in prison. I tell you that. I'm not the damn president.
I thought you was calling Collect. Did you call Collect from Boston Mental Institution?
Are you running from somebody?
Yeah. Hey, he running from the bad boys. He's running from the bad boys.
Oh my God. You guys, you know what? You finally you got a team this year, Rick Mahorn. And I know, Gerald, I am not gonna hear your mouth. You're gonna be going on forever right now. This is gonna be ugly.
Nah, Brad, I'm gonna tell you something. If Tatum comes back in any kind of Tatum, they become one of those formidable teams. Everybody picked New York to win the Eastern Conference, but when you look at it, yeah, injuries do make up some of the portion. But when you got guys, the way the Boston Celtics are playing, the way that Jaylen Brown is playing, I think it's outstanding. And y'all shoot so many threes. I'm like, damn, man, might as well go to the park.
Well, it's kind of funny. You understand that when we played, you and I played, there was no such thing as 3-point shots. You know, that was the last thing we were going to do. I mean, threes, I played in the championship series in 1981 against the Houston Rockets. There were 3 threes for the whole game. The whole game. I'm not talking about the whole damn game. There were 3 threes. So, I mean, that's the difference in the way the game is played now. Oh, okay, now I'm gonna pull over here so I can talk to you guys. Okay, here I am.
Oh yeah. Hey, but Brad, when you know, a lot of people and a lot of our fans don't know that, you know, the weapon, you use what you got to win games the way they can. And that's the only way that they can win is shooting those threes. And I mean, Jaylen Brown, if he, you know, he's considered one of them MVP guys, just the way with Cade Cunningham, the way that they're both playing for their teams.
Yeah, I tell you what, I do like Cabe, and Cabe's a stud, man. And the thing that I thought was so funny was watching that so-called, because I know that's what you're saying, so-called fight that your boy Beef Stew was in. I know you did that like, what fight? You know why he hit nobody?
What you talking about? What you talking about? They hit. Slow motion hit.
Hell yeah. They might as well have been pawing me to death like a cat. I mean, I understood and understand, but what I didn't understand is the fact that the assistant coaches are supposed to be holding those players back. Who was supposed to be holding Beef Stew back?
Who can hold? I can't hold him. Come on, man, Brad. But listen, Brad, he'll turn around. I went in the stands back in the day when the Pistons and the Pacers were in a fight, and I was doing radio broadcasts. I put my sorry ass in the back to pull Ron Artest off of some fan. And let me tell you something. I felt this dude. I was just grabbing his jersey. I felt that he was going to rip me with the jersey. So trust me, if I'm one of them assistant coaches like Vlade Potapenko, I only can grab one. I can't grab 2, coach. And they got 20 coaches out there. Man, it could get scary. But that money, ooh, Lord.
Yeah, that was a lot of money given up on Beef Stew's part. But you know, you and I look at it as both professional players. And when you saw what happened was that you saw Bridges come out and sneak punch, you know, Dern. And at that point, all bets are off. I mean, at that point, all hell is about to break loose because Bridges came and just snuck punched him. And that to me, that's something that doesn't happen. And as a teammate, yeah, I'm going to his defense and I'm going to his ass. And I would have loved to see somebody, but you know what? I don't think these guys could crack a good fart. None of them. So I look how they fight. I'm like, come on, man. What they do normally rub heads together, but there really wasn't a fight. But I tell you what, I like the excitement and I like what the Pistons are doing when it comes to that bad boy reputation because Dern was trying to punk my man. He hit him in the chest. He did a Ricky Mahorn on Kevin McHale. That's what that was. Hit him in the chest, trying to punk him just to see, okay, now what you gonna do? And test you. Caldwell Jones did me like that. I was just running down the court. He just elbowed me in the stomach. And later on, I got a chance to know him. I said, yo, man, you remember you elbowed me in the stomach? Yeah, man, I was just testing you. See if you
Yeah.
see if you're gonna back down.
Hey, dude, what you think, Brad? I mean, you went to a semi-small school. I went to a real small school. What do you think when you do? A lot of people out there, just because we went to smaller schools, don't think we can play ball. It's like you came from Hampton Institute. You came, I'm sitting there going like the Division II. That's why Ben Wallace and you look at Terry Davis, you look at Oakley. It's like, you know what? We want to whoop your ass,
Yeah,
and we don't
yeah.
care what school you go to. We know we can play and compete against you. How
Well,
big was it when because you came in a little bit before me, but how
uh,
big is that?
well, UNC Charlotte was central. I remember I got a scholarship offer, and I was looking at the paper going North Carolina. I was like, oh, Chapel Hill, they're recruiting me right now. I just see the small words on the bottom saying UNC Charlotte, but it was great. It was a great school. It was a great school to grow with for me, and
Hmm.
I thought that was the coolest thing about it. I grew with it. The school grew, and we got to the Final Four, and it was real cool to be there. But basketball players know basketball players. I don't give a damn
Yeah.
what you do. You and I can sit down for 5 minutes and we can watch a guy play, and we can tell you right now if he can make it in this league. Because we know the tendencies, we know how he act, we know if he has it in him. And I remember
Hmm.
one thing that JoJo White did. He saw me the first time. It was the coolest thing ever. JoJo White, great Celtic, Hall of Famer. God bless his soul. Passed away some
Hmm.
years ago. But I was running down the court. I made a move, and then he looked over. He looked over at one of the other guys, and I kind of peeped him. He said, "Yeah, that bitch can play." Hmm. And it was the coolest thing. I like, damn, JoJo said I can play. So, so you and I know that. I mean, but that was the thing with me and Larry Bird. I didn't know. I didn't. I was the first pro to ever play against him. And I'm thinking like, okay, here we go. Great white hope. Here he come. We'd have seen this before. We've seen this act before. White boys
Hmm.
come in the league and going, Shh, he can't play. Man,
Hmm.
after about 30 minutes, I remember getting to the first black person after practice. I said, you know what? That freaking white guy can play. And so I got a tendency to know it wasn't about color. And then every time we got ready to play some other team, they would always come up to me, yo, Cornbread, how was that Bird guy? And I said, you'll be finding out in about 5 minutes. You know, because he had no fear. He had no fear,
Hmm.
Rick. And that's the thing that you had to love about him. He had no fear of Dennis Rodman. He had no fear of Bill Laimbeer. He had no fear of you guys. However you wanted to play, that's what Larry wanted to do. So that was a
Hmm.
cool thing when you think about a guy being aggressive, because we always thought we could punk a lot of guys out there as soon as they got on the court. And
Hmm.
I did that. I did that with Xavier McDaniel. I thought he was tough. I was like, I'm gonna test him. I was like my eighth or ninth year, and the X Man was known to be tough. He was first year in the league. So I turned around. He was under the basket, and I just elbowed him as hard as I could in the stomach. He went over. He runs back down the court. He balls his fists up. I'm looking up at the rim. He hits me right in the nuts. And I go, and the first thing I say, okay, we even, we good, we good now, okay. So guys are going to come back and they're going to respond, and that's the thing I did like about, and maybe even the attitude of Charlotte too. Charlotte thinks they're
Hmm.
coming right now. Charlotte
Yeah.
thinks that Charlotte think they're a coming team right now, but they played the big boys in Detroit, and Detroit is making everybody have a sense of who they are right now because of, as you told me when you talked to me, you said, Brad, we're deep. We are really
Hmm.
deep. You're
And
deep.
and
You're deep at every position.
and here's the thing, Brett, when you look at it, and Gerald, when you look at it, I'm around them not 24/7, but I say 24/20 or whatever. Let me just say this. This is the tightest group other than the '04 boys that we had here to win the going to work guys here that won the championship. These dudes are tight. They're knitted like a brand new sweater. And I'm sitting there going so impressed because it's not, it's like they're cheering. They don't care if they score 2 points or 50 points. They treat everybody the same. That's why the head of the spear with Kate Cunningham, it's like, you know what? He's ingratiating. I even read something online that he might even take care of Stewart's fine. I said, well, damn, I wish they'd have gave me some money when I played.
Hey, you know what?
Shit.
I want to just step in. Brad, you can turn your back screen, your background off.
Okay, I don't know how I turn it off because
Yeah,
I
you
might
turn
be,
it on.
I might be out the picture. Let me see. Do I turn it like that, Reg? You think I turn it off right there?
Well, tell Reg to run it. Reg don't know shit.
Okay, I tell damn. Reg ain't knowing
What you
nothing.
on?
I tell you
You
what.
must be on FaceTime audio. You can
I tell
call
you what.
back, though.
Okay, no. I tell you what. I do it like this, and now you don't have my picture up there, right?
No, we
Just see,
But
yeah, we see the wall.
you can
Yeah,
look at
we see the
you can
prison
look at the
wall.
wall. You can look at the prison wall.
But
As
Brad,
long as
I want to ask you first of all. Obviously, Jason Tatum has been working out with the G League team. What are your thoughts personally about him possibly coming back this season, and how realistic is that?
I think it's very realistic. I think that he said
You're breaking up a little bit, Brad. Go ahead, put that antenna back on the top of the
That
on the
aluminum
car.
foil back on your
The
foot.
aluminum foil. Just go ahead and stick it on
you
the
want me
car.
guys. Okay, do you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you now. It's
Am
what
I
you were
breaking
saying
up
about
still?
Tatum.
Hey, pull the antenna up on the antenna
Okay.
outside the Cadillac.
In fact, won't you just go outside, put it on top of your head, and put your finger in your ear? You know I
Damn,
got jokes,
y'all
man.
cold blooded.
No,
Y'all cold blooded. But I think that Tatum's been saying he's been working out 6 out of 7 days. And he's been working to come back. And I think he's gonna come back. But here's the thing I believe, Rick. You and I know this, and Coach, that he has to have 20 games under his belt before he comes back and goes into the 2 games didn't go well. But about the 20 game.
Okay, Brad, you going bing bong, and like we playing something on Nintendo or Atari or something. That's what you sound like. Y'all gonna have to move a little
Should
bit.
I just call you guys?
Yeah, call us
Should I
back.
just
We'll
call
be
you
here.
guys back? All right.
But yeah,
All
if
right.
you
Well,
can
you
hear
just
me,
call
just
me
call
then,
us
and
back.
I'll
No, call us back. You good, Brad? No, you good, Brad. You good. We just messing with you.
good. We messing with you.
okay.
No, but
Now this is. I just think he
like you
has to
said,
come.
20 games. You said 20 games.
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
he has to come back with 20 games. And I think that that's going to give him an opportunity to come back and get acclimated to the game, the speed
Mm-hmm.
of the game. You just can't come off the street and just start playing. So
Nope.
I think that that's what has to happen. That's what has to happen with him. And if he comes back, and I'm like you, if he's any place close to Tatum coming back, and you got Vooch that you got in the trade,
Oh
then
yeah.
now you might be able to compete with the Derns and people like that and the beef stews. Your position of being tough to me is one of the things that really makes the difference in your team. And the fact that, I don't even know, who does Dern remind you of as a player?
Shoot,
Orlando
man.
Warriors.
Orlando Warriors to a degree, but I think he's got that toughness, man. It's like he's got an edge on his shoulder. And when he starts talking bread, he's like, I want your cornbread. I'd be like, I'm done. He scared the hell out of me. He scared the hell out of me. He was like, what's up, old school? And I was like, what the fuck? I looked behind me. I was like, oh, ain't nothing but Durham, man. But let me just say this, Brad. We've been around teams. We've been in this 50 plus years. We look at this and go, man, is it, you look at players and try to compare them to the players of the past. But then, one person popped up in my mind, Purvis Short. Nobody talks about Purvis Short. And I'm
Yeah.
sitting there going like, never nervous Purvis?
Not
Are you
Elephant.
for real?
Not Purvis. That was a Purvis Short.
Purvis Short. That's what I said. That
Purvis
boy.
Short was a
Man.
jump shooter. But what I'll say about this, maybe I should look at it this way, Rick. Maybe you should look at it this way. Maybe we talk about Durham. maybe he needs to look in the mirror at you, because
No.
that's the guy that. Oh, no. Seriously, if you haven't ever seen Rick Mahorn play, the thing about him is he did not give a damn or any quarter. He was going to get out there and play hard and bust your ass. It didn't make any difference about who you were. And that's the same way I see Dern. He doesn't care who you are. And because of that, that makes a huge difference in who your team is. Cape Cunningham obviously is your engine, but you got to have some other equipment in there. And that boy is one of them, the way he plays the game.
Man,
Yeah.
Brad, you're right. Did you see any of the All-Star game? Did you see or anybody that you know watched the All-Star game and how competitive it was other than in the past?
I heard, and I just saw little clips of it, and I'm glad it's
Hmm.
got more competitive, because at first it was just some kind of show and tell, and I didn't like it like that. That's not the way back. And matter of fact, you can get hurt like that because you're just bullshitting in the game. You can get
Hmm.
bullshitting. What I like is that you're starting to play a little bit more. And remember, during the '80s, when people getting on the All-Star team, the winner got like $10,000, and the other team got like 5,000. That
Hmm.
5,000, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, that damn 5,000 meant something at that time. That really meant something. It wasn't like these guys are just a damn picking up a penny or something like that. So
Hmm.
I think that that's the competition that you see. And Rick, the money has gone so crazy right now. When I think about Tatum, I think about Brown. Hell, I think, you know what, who I go to? I think about Draymond Green. Draymond Green makes 31 million. He makes
Hmm.
31 million. Draymond Green's a good player, but 31 million? Hey, I ain't hating on nobody's money, but man, these guys are getting paid out the ass right now, and a lot of guys get paid. If you ain't making
Well,
20 million in this league, you ain't no good player.
Mm.
well, I'll put it to you this way: the owners, the governors are making a whole lot of money as well, and television
Yeah,
is making a whole lot. So,
yeah.
but when I look at it, and comparatively speaking, I don't. You can, everybody always like, well, you think you could have did that? We're basketball players. We're athletes. We adjust to any fucking thing out there. We're just like human beings. And Brad. They were like, "Can you shoot the 3-pointer?" If I had to. What the hell am I
Yeah,
missing? It's like
absolutely.
if this something that I need to work on, I'm gonna work on it. We do this shit, but then I get tired of people. Oh, you couldn't play in this era, or they could. I put it to you this way: motherfucker couldn't play in our era
In
either.
our era, I know damn well that's right. That's what I would be saying. Like, I look at a couple of dudes. I remember saying one time about the Celtics, I'm like, who could play during the '80s? I said, that damn Marcus Smart. He could play in the damn '80s. He didn't give a damn one way or the other. But there's not
Mm,
a lot of guys I looked at and said, and the thing about the Celtics, they didn't get good until you had two players become a little bit mean and nasty. That was Tatum
mm,
and Brown. You can't have your best two players being that nice. As much
mm,
as I love Isaiah Thomas, your Isaiah, I
mm.
wouldn't trust that boy with a knife for nothing in the damn world. He slit your damn throat and be laughing at you at the same time. I'm like, oh hell no.
Hey,
But
you know what, guys? I wanted to ask you this. I wanted to jump in because the Doug Moe passed away, former coach of the Denver Nuggets and stuff, passed away at the tender age of 87. And I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on just obviously your experiences with Doug Moe, who was a legendary coach, and obviously in Denver and stuff with a lot of success and stuff. Brad, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on just obviously Doug Moe.
Well, you look at a bunch of guys that we've lost over the years, and Doug Moe
Mm.
was one of them. He was an innovative coach. He would run your ass to death. You go up in Denver, the first thing you had to do is Rick, get that damn
Yes.
oxygen mask, put it on your damn mouth, because them Nuggets were running. That first 5 minutes, it was like torture out there. But he had those guys playing well, and he knew the system. And when you think about guys who know it, like Red Auerbach, like Bill Fitch, Chuck Daly, we've lost a lot of great coaches over the years and great people. And you just understand that, hey, life is short.
Mm.
But this is what I love when you think about a guy like that, the impact that he made on the game. And I think anybody who does anything in life, if you can look back over your time and say, I made an impact, that's the biggest contribution that you can make. It. He made a huge contribution to the game.
Yeah, and I know you're gonna ask me, Gerald, but a lot of people don't know what his 3-pointer. Remember Doug Moe, Dan Issel? They, I think but I know Issel played in the ABA, and I mean Doug Moe was the coach, and he brought the 3-pointer in. Other than running us into fucking death on the way they ran and put up so many points, this is what the league is doing. Want to do now because Doug Moe was an innovator. Dan Issel becoming following behind his footsteps. Next thing you know, they had people like Michael Adams and dudes that you go Mike Adams, and then you got Kiki Vanderway, then you got Dan Issel was shooting threes back then. So a lot of people did, they think this 3-pointer just came around this way. It was there in the ABA, and when they merged both of the teams, both of the leagues together, that 3-ball came in and it became a part of it. But it was more enhanced with Denver because you knew you had to watch T.R. Dunn, Alex English,
Pat
Yeah.
Lever.
Fat Lever handling it, man. Them dudes would run and shoot, and man. But he will be missed like everybody else that comes into our world of basketball because that's part of our life.
Yeah.
I tell you what he didn't bring to the game. He didn't bring no damn defense. Them dudes, them dudes
Who
couldn't.
played
Them dudes,
defense?
them dudes couldn't guard me and you right now. I mean, damn. I'm like they just all they wanted to do was outscore you. If they felt like they just run you to death, but they were never going to out defend you, and that's why they lost their share of games, especially when it got to playoff time, because now it becomes more of a nitty gritty game.
Yeah. Before we let you get on out of here, Brad, I got a couple more, man. I want to get your thoughts on. I don't know Rick's camera acting up or whatever, but I want to ask you. Obviously, Rick and I always talk about comparing and talking about the players of yesteryear and giving the flowers, if you will, because it's so easy to forget the players that paved the way. And obviously, this era of basketball, fans think the game just started with just Jordan or whatever. But I ask you. Obviously, you had a lot of success with the Celtics.
What's going on?
What was a tougher matchup for the Celtics? Was it the Lakers or the Detroit Pistons?
I couldn't hear you,
Uh,
Gerald. My bad.
I asked,
um,
I asked Brad, who was a tougher matchup for the Boston Celtics? Was it you guys or the Lakers?
tell you what you didn't want. You didn't want to play the. You didn't want to. You saw the Pistons so much that you just felt like you were tired of their ass. You just did not want like get these Negroes out of here. Let them go someplace else and play. Damn, they were just. I mean, you look at them and you're going, damn man. Have y'all got to foul that hard all the time? I have so much respect for Rick, but there's a play that one day he asked me about. He sent me on somebody sent me online. Rick was in Washington, and I don't know, maybe he had a hair across his ass for me or something. But I go around, I make a nice little move going to the basket. I fake him up in the air, and all that 285 pounds came down on me with shoulders, ass, and everything. And he stood over me like a damn bear. I was like, damn. And you know what? Here's what pissed me off. Not one of my teammates went to your ass. None of them.
Mm.
They didn't. None of them went to. So Rick Mahorn had a reputation, and when you played against Detroit, you know it's gonna be pain. When you played against the Lakers, well, I call them the Fakers. When you played against the Fakers, that was a whole nother. You had to deal with all that Hollywood bullshit, dancing Barry, the dancing women, and all that stuff.
The Laker girls.
I was just tired. I got tired of the Fakers. So when you start talking about them, I would have loved to have played the Lakers a lot more because I wasn't gonna get beat up. Or if
Mm.
you went with the Pistons, you knew you're gonna have a damn band-aids on your ass after that shit was over.
Well, I'll tell you, Gerald, one time I didn't realize I was in the NBA, Brad and Gerald, until we played y'all in that playoffs, with that first time that, with Jeff Rulin and myself. We played y'all in that playoffs, and I was dating a girl out in Oakland, California at that time. And we just lost to you guys. And next thing you know, I'm reading the paper, the San Francisco Times Chronicle. I don't know what it was, and I'm reading in there, and I read my name in there. That's when I realized I was in the NBA. And let me just say this to you: you guys, because I grew up watching the Celtics and the Knicks. I was a Knicks fan because I didn't like the Celtics, so that kind of went, with me when I finally played against y'all. So I wanted to give you nothing but hurt and pain.
Well,
Mhm.
you did a great fucking job. Okay.
Hey, Brad, before we let you get out of here, I got to ask both of you guys this question where your thoughts on just obviously these comments that Mark Cuban made recently. He said that the NBA should embrace tanking because if you can remember the score of the game, he should really focus on, and I'm just paraphrasing, talking about the opportunity that the NBA should make it a fan experience and create a better fan experience for the fans as opposed to just worried about the tanking and stuff. What are your thoughts on that in terms of just hearing Cuban's thoughts on just obviously perhaps the NBA embracing tanking? I ask you, Brad, first.
I think it sucks because if you're a competitor, you want to win. You want to get out and win. Now, whether you're teaching your players, if you go out and tank a game and then tank another one, then tank another, trying to get a player, and then what happens? How do you change that switch and go the other way? Tanking games. I look at some of these teams. Even I remember ML Carr was like that with the Celtics when they wanted to get Tim Duncan, and somebody would be scoring a couple points when ML was the coach. He pulled the guy, whoa, whoa, big fella, and we ain't trying to win this game. We want to get as many ping pong balls. So I don't like it. I understand it, but to me it sucks because it sends a bad message to your organization and to your fan base. Because if you're out there and all of a sudden you don't see your best two players back and you got a chance to win a game, what are you telling your fans? Screw off? What are you telling them?
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Rick, what are your thoughts about it?
Tanking, remember Brad back in the day, San Diego Clippers. The Clippers were the team that was like, oh, if you go play, and you played for them, Brad, and it's like they ain't want to do shit. They just wanted to, go sit on the beach and hang out. I look at tanking going like, why are you playing the damn game then? Are you vested into, you must be vested into just making money and dealing with the splitting the pie of 30, 30 teams, and you going, okay, I'm gonna make a profit or blah blah this. It's all about competition. If anybody plays sports, you want to be the best person you can be, and you don't. If you got a foundation, you want to keep building on that foundation. And I understand it's ebbs and flows with basketball, and maybe you'll be good one year, and it don't be like the Celtics were always good, the Lakers were always good because they were vested, and then all of a sudden they threw the salary caps in there, and now they want to have a fair playing field. Well, then you got to get the right players and teach them how to play, and
Yeah.
make sure that this is not, don't get bad habits, because if you get a bad habit, then you'd be like, okay, I'm just going to the game and going through the motions.
How do you
Yeah.
fix tanking? How do you guys fix tanking? Rick, how would you fix it? Do you have it like a lot? Because there's no way they could do what the NFL does because you're not going look. Victor Wembanyama couldn't be in Washington, right? Just let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest, right? You want it somewhere stable, so it can't be like the NFL where okay, whoever has the record, that is based upon losses and stuff. How do you fix it and still make sure that you have a quality product out there?
My thing, when I look at the Pistons, were 14. We won 14 games a couple of years ago, and it wasn't that we are tanking. We just weren't that damn good. And the fact was, you built around Kate Cunningham. You made some good draft. See, it's about drafting the right person for your team. The character of your team, to me, your team's identity. What do you want to be? Do you want to be the Denver Nuggets that ran up and down, ain't play no damn defense? Then more power to you and your fans. If they want to see that shit, then let them see it. But if you're a team like the Pistons and the Celtics, it's all about winning championships. It's all about getting them chips. And that's why I look at OKC, when they get Shea Gilgeous Alexander back, you'll see the difference that they want to play and they want to win a championship. They still are competitive without him, but he's the one, he's the head of the snake, and everybody wants to win. So that's what I look at. The tanking stuff. that's just some stuff that they want to talk about. Oh, we need to get this player, that player. But when it's all said and done, you want to win a fucking chip.
Yeah, you wanna win a chip, and I tell you what, Rick. Before I go, I have to say that damn boy down in San Antonio is pretty damn special. He
I
he
see.
he he go if he's healthy, he's gonna change the way this game is being played. I've said it before. I think Wilt Chamberlain changed the game. The other guy, Steph Curry, changed the game. Now, Victor, if he stays healthy, he could change this game, and it could be played a whole nother way because he's just that kind of player.
Who does he remind you of, Brad, from back in the day?
Another fucking person I know.
No, no. Remember? No, I got one for you.
I bet
Ralph
you're gonna say
Sampson.
Ralph Sampson.
Ralph
You're gonna say
Sampson before
Ralph.
he got hurt.
You're gonna say
Mm,
Ralph, and I played with Ralph, but
Hmm.
this boy has more skills than Ralph did.
I haven't seen him in person yet.
I've seen him play a couple of times, and things that he's able to do are just tremendous. Ralph
Yep.
was I played against Ralph several times. Ralph was very unique in his skill set and what he could do. But Victor, that boy, man, he's taking this shit where his ball handling, his passing, he can be one. If he just wants to go out and change the game, blocking shots, he closes the rim up. Ralph didn't want to
Mm,
do that. Ralph wasn't that way. So that's the thing you look at Victor, that he can change
mm,
the game on both. That's why I always said to me, Akeem Olajuwon was the best player ever
ooh.
to play the game. Because,
Mm-hmm.
let me say it, because he changed the way the game was. He dominated on both ends of the floor like nobody's ever done. Nobody. Everybody said, oh, Jordan was this, Jordan. No, Jordan guarded his man. The
Mm-hmm.
dream closed the hoop down for everybody. And boy, he give you the blues on the offensive end. He was crazy.
Hey, Brad, I'm gonna tell both of you and Gerald because I know we got a little short window. Well, I played against Akeem. When I played against him, I made him fall. You know how I pulled a chair? And
Yeah,
and he's like he gets up with that accent. Oh, you got me with that move, but I got one for you down at the other end. Man, that dude blocked my shot, ran down the court, and said, "You'll never shake." No, and then he did the dream shake. He said, "Did I shake you?" I wanted to punch him right in his face. But I had mad, like you said, he changed, man, on both sides of the court, like Chamberlain, man, and I see Victor on Monday. I think was played them Monday or Tuesday, next week. Man, I can't wait to see him in person. Man.
yeah, he's a unique specimen. I mean, because of his range, but what he does on the defensive end, I've seen even in these little games they played during the All-Star game. Shit, man,
Mm-hmm.
you see him close that rim up. You going to the hoop. You ain't going to the hoop without looking over your damn shoulder because he's coming.
Mm,
And he's
yeah.
that. How many times have we seen? And you played against your boy Newt Bowl. He might be the only
Mm-hmm.
guy I could have blocked the shot flat-footed. How many times have we seen Victor block a guy's shot flat-footed? His arms and his timing are just so damn good.
so y'all
Mm.
put Victor over Shaq, Wilt.
We
I'm
ain't
not.
picking him over, but I'm
I'm not
looking
saying.
at
Yeah,
now. I'm
You
looking
put him
at
in
now.
that category.
He's changing the game because
yeah,
now with the 3-pointer that everybody uses, he can shoot the 3-pointer. He can
yeah,
put the
yeah,
ball on the deck.
yeah.
You throw that motherfucker alive. Is basically he's the only one that can get it.
Yes,
What
sir.
else can you fucking do? That's what, man. They changed the rules for Chamberlain, where it was him. Remember you couldn't dunk, and I'm
Yeah,
sitting here going into college. It's like we couldn't dunk the ball, but then the following year we can dunk. It's like they took the dunk out because it gave Wilt an advantage of the smaller the George Mikins. Wilt was kicking their ass.
yeah. So I think that I look at Victor right now. I don't think that I'm not going to put him up there with the greats yet. But
Hmm.
if he
Mm-hmm.
stays healthy over the next 10 years, he's going to be among the elite of the elite. And you're going to be
Mm,
looking at him saying, might be saying, Jordan who?
Yeah.
LeBron who?
Yeah.
Because he can be that dominant. And I'm going to tell you what I love about him, the fact he is surrounded by young players in San Antonio. And
mm-hmm.
if they can keep them guys together, they're going to be tough. So I'm going to I'm going to key in on this game when y'all playing because, your physicality, the way you guys play. But boy, I tell you, Victor's going to change some shit out there. Well,
Okay.
gentlemen, thank you for having me on.
Hey, all
Yeah,
the best,
Brad.
man. Brad, we
Nothing
appreciate
but
you,
love.
man.
Nothing but love. You know that, Brad. All the way
All right,
back, baby. All
all
right.
right,
Be safe
brothers. Yeah,
and tell your passenger he can take that antenna, put the antenna
yeah.
back in.
No,
Reggie can do that now. We'll
no,
turn
turn
All
you
that
right,
off.
Reg.
off.
All right, man. Take
All right,
care.
Reggie. Y'all be
Hey,
safe.
All right, man.
turn that 8-track off.
What 8-track? They got a phonograph. That is, nah, man. I wish, man. All I know, especially this hour, he spit some knowledge, and
Yeah,
him and I have the ultimate respect for each other because a lot of times when someone can jump on here for the most time that he was on there, a lot
yeah.
of people wouldn't do that, and he's that kind of guy. We have everybody that's around me. You're a great character guy. I'm me. I try to be. And the people that I surround myself with got to be very good character guys.
Well, you know what? Definitely, obviously, technology always has a hand. We got to shout out Mark from Sacramento. Mark from Sacramento is in the house, man. Definitely,
What up, Mark?
Mark, what I'm saying? Sup, big pillow head. He puts it out there and stuff. But, Rick, mark my words. I got to mark my words, and I'm going to say this. Mark my words. We might be looking at the Pistons and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference NBA and Eastern Conference Finals. Mark my words.
Well, mark my words. I want to see it, and that's what I want to know. And I want the Pistons to advance. That's all I'm saying.
That about
my words.
Hey, Rick, great show, man. Hey, we got a special one next week. Always hanging out here. For Rick Mahorn, I'm Gerald Brown. Rick, what do we say?
Peace.
Hey.
Stay safe out there, boys.